guys, it's Alan here from TheZupr.com with a tutorial video for SEO Content Machine. Since I found out about SEO Content Machine, I have been using it to generate endless amounts of unique content for all my link building campaigns. And what I want to do is show you how to do that and run through the software so you can get started with it as quick as possible and start using it to its full potential. So the first thing you want to do when you come into SEO Content Machine is go to our options tab and to our third-party logins, and what we want to do is set up all the accounts and the APIs for all the other software that we're going to integrate into SEM, and we're going to use that to spin articles, because the built-in spinner, as you can imagine, with this software and with any other sort of content generation software, wouldn't be the best. They're here to generate content. We're better off plugging in our own spinner API and using that. So the third-party logins that you're definitely going to want to use, well, in my opinion, I use Spin Rewriter, and there's no other spinner like it on the market. The one that comes closest is Word AI, and Word AI is actually a monthly fee. And in my eyes, and a lot of other people I talk to that use the content generation software, the Word AI and Spin Rewriter, the difference is minimal. And for the price, Spin Rewriter is $77 for the year. Word AI is, last time I looked, I think upwards of $50 per month. So let's save ourselves some money and go and get Spin Rewriter, and you can then use that to spin all the content that you generate with SCM. So go ahead, get your Spin Rewriter API and your email key. Confidence level, this is how unique you actually want your spins to be. I always set it to low because I'm after unique content. That's what I want, more than readable, unique. So bear that in mind when you're also setting your confidence level. The unique content will index in Google much better than the readable content. So that's all we want for links, full stop. So set up your confidence level as low. You're also going to want Copyscape, which is essential in my eyes because it integrates really nicely with SCM, and you can also go and check how unique your content is on the fly from within the software, which I'll show you a little later. So set those up and obviously save your credentials. And once you've done that, in here obviously add proxies. I think you can run the software without proxies. I generally don't. I have proxies for other tools that I use, such as GSA. So I'll bang some proxies in here and I'll use them to scrape for content. So set up your proxies, and also if you want to get email notifications, once it's completed, they'll send you a notification if you want. And obviously you can go back to it then and do what you need to do. So once you've got all your third-party logins and your options set up, we want to come back over here to the main screen, and we want to, let's generate articles. That's what we want to do. So let's generate some articles. So what I'll do is I'll come in here and I'll give the task a name. Let's say dog collars. I think I was running one earlier on with dog collars, so for this review and tutorial, so let's stick with that. We'll go with dog collars and we'll enter keywords. We'll also give it the dog collars, and we'll just leave it at one keyword for this tutorial. There's no point, the more keywords you add, the longer it's going to take to scrape, so let's do that. One keyword. And you can also, when you're in here, if I remember correctly, yes, you can also right click and use another one of their featured, which is the keyword suggest. So you can come in here, enter dog collars, and we can search, and this will start giving us lots of keywords that we can use to also scrape for content. This is great if you're maybe in an obscure niche that you don't really know, or else you're just stuck for words. I've been in that case before. So I've come in here, I'll click on any of these, I'll right click, and I can import them via the clipboard, or I can just copy them and I can bring them back over and then add them into my keyword section here. The keywords here is what you're going to scrape for essentially. We'll get to the sources that you scrape next, but these are the keywords that you want the software to search for and scrape content for. So we've got our dog collars in here, and then we've got some article settings here. Now, like I said, I want unique content. I'm not after readable content, so I'm going to leave this to unique. My paragraph count is how many paragraphs are going to come back within the article. And what I like to do is set this to 4 to 7 paragraphs. That's a long enough article for everything I need, so 4 to 7 will do me. Then I'll come to paragraph variations, and what I like to do is set this from 2 to 4 paragraph variations is good enough for me. So we'll set it to 4 here. And then your article count, self-explanatory. How many articles do you need? We want 1. So I'll just do 1 at the moment. But normally when I'm running this in batches for GSA, I'll do 50 articles. And that's content for my link building campaign for, well, it depends on how many links you're building, but generally I'll run campaigns upwards of 100,000 links with this many articles. So we'll just use 1 at the moment. GSA is a completely another tutorial, but so we'll leave it at 1. So our spinner, like I said, we're going to use Spin Rewriter. That's the one I use. That's the one I recommend that you use. Do what you want, but Spin Rewriter, in my opinion, is the best. So we'll use Spin Rewriter, and we can actually protect words from the spun content as well. So if we don't want dog collars to be spun at all after it's scraped, we can insert that there, and that word will not be touched. Also, a nice little feature down here is your predicted spinner usage. So as you add in how many articles, you increase the variations or the paragraph count, you'll see that this will rise. Now with some spinners, they have a limit on your usage. With Spin Rewriter, you can use as many words as you like, but they'll only accept, I think it's 200 or 300 API calls in a day. So every article will go down as an API call. So if you're generating 50 articles, that will be 50 calls to the API in those 24 hours. And that'll go down, obviously capped at, I think it's 200 or 300 I think, last time I checked. So we can do that. We can set everything up here. The next thing you want to do is pick a folder. Yes, we want it to go to a Spintax folder. And what do we want to generate? This is where a lot of the good stuff happens, especially if you're building lots of links and using different softwares. Do you want an article, just a plain article in Spintax format? That's no problem. If that's what you want, you can set it here. For me, I'm generally either using GSA search engine ranker, like I just said, or I use FCS networker a lot. So these are essentially templates, and when you specify which one you want, that is the format that the content is output in, and that's how you can import it to the tool of your choice and use it. It's a great feature. I noticed some other content generators that do it. SEO Content Machine does it seamlessly, and I've been delighted with it. So let's set it to GSA for this example that we're running here. And then what we need to do, the last thing on this section of the article generator tab, is to pick where we want to save it. So let's save it to a little test we were doing earlier on, the dog collars folder, and boom. that is that. Now, on to our next tab. This is another great feature of SEO Content Machine that not one other content generator out there has at the moment. They have lots of sources that we can pick here to scrape for content for our keyword. Now, obviously, the more you pick, the longer it's going to take to scrape. So bear that in mind when you do pick. But what you can also do is add your own sites to scrape, which is great. If you're using, let's say, Engadget and eHow and Squidoo and Hub Pages, I mean, everybody's using them to scrape content. So bear that in mind when you do scrape, that a lot of these sites are constantly being scraped, and that some of the content you get back won't be 100% unique unless you're using some of the spinning tactics that I'll show you later. But bear that in mind anyway. So if we do want, we can edit custom sites, and we can also import our own sites. So if we go here and we go to import, we can also import custom sources to scrape, and we can just pick them, then select them in here, and they will go and only scrape those sources that you selected. Not everyone's going to be scraping the same sources if people are just coming up with the domain names themselves, so we're selecting the domain names themselves. So that's a great feature, and one that I advise you that we use to its full potential. So once we have picked our article sources that we want, we can pick whatever we want here. Next thing we do is come over to our custom content. Do we have custom content? No, we don't. We'll skip that for that. And if you are using GSA as your template, you'll want to click the add a link button and put this %URL %text in, as this will be replaced by your keywords that you've selected in GSA. So we want to add one if we just want to add contextual link into our article. So that's exactly what we'll do. We'll select OK and OK. Even though it's invalid, that doesn't matter. We can proceed anyway because the software GSA will recognize what that is and replace it. Images. Do we want images in our article? I'm sure we probably do. What I like to do is generally go from 1 to 1, and that's what I'll do. If I'm inserting a video, I like to insert the video at the top, so I'll select image at end, and the image settings left, center, right, please, and that will randomize the selection of where the image is placed. And then we want to come over to, well, we can also select an image source if we want to go under a Creative Commons license, and we can also add alt tags based on the keywords that we selected, or we can add custom and add our own alt tags in. This is all great because it saves you time at the end of the day if this is something you want to do. Generally, if I'm just building articles for links, I'm not going to bother adding alt tags in. Maybe I might select primary or secondary or primary keywords, but I'm not gonna go crazy with alt tags. If I'm using the software to schedule blog posts, then I might, but that's not what I use it for, so I'm going to skip over that and move on to the video section. Videos. Do you want a video inserted that will be scraped based on your keyword? I'm not 100% if you do. Sometimes, very rarely actually, I will. I'll use a custom video that I might already have, and I will put the embed code here. One embed code per line. If you want whatever amount of videos you want, add in your embed code, and I will click video at start, because depending on where where your link is being built, or especially if you're using FCS, a lot of the Web 2 properties will display the video first, and only the video if it's a snippet. So I like to obviously always have it in at the start, so to make sure that the video appears. Like I said again, I will use the video at the start, and I'd use one video and my own custom embed URL, and that's all I do for video. Schedule, depending on if you schedule your task for this, we don't need to. You can also repeat your task and set this up to run every day, which for some of you, if you need a lot of content in a certain niche and don't want to have to come back and do this all the time, will be gold. So that's something else you can do. Then you just click the little button down here and you click add task, and that would be it. So your schedule or settings, I clicked on repeat, we don't need any of that. And you click on add task, and SEO Content Machine will run. It'll run straight away. You don't have to come in here. I'm just going to abort it because I've already completed the task earlier on, so I won't need to do that. Once your task is run and it's completed, we can come back in here and we can click on the task and go to inspect articles. Go select the folder where you wanted the articles to go and click OK. Up comes this next screen with lots of spin tacks, and this is your article that it's just gone and scraped. So it's just took off and scraped a massive big article, 3 articles for us in this case, for the keyword dog collars. Now there's lots of things we can do in here. The first thing what I like to do is to actually view the article and say a spun preview of the article. So here we can see it was dog collar that I searched for. It scraped it. It inserted a keyword dog collar and highlighted it because that will be our anchor text. And it's a pretty neat looking article, as you can see. It's like you said, it's not going to be 100% readable, but I'm not after that. So all I want it to be is unique. And this is where the beauty of Copyscape comes in, because we can simply check for duplicates. And using your API, it'll call Copyscape, run your text, and boom, check. Content is 100% unique. There was 0 out of 369 words detected as duplicate, which is great news for us. I can also simply spin it again and check for duplicates. It's 100% unique again. Now I will always use 98% plus unique in my link building campaigns. So it's up to you how unique you want to use it, but I would advise 98% plus, and that's the simple way to generate endless amounts of unique content for your link building campaigns using SEO Content Machine. Now we have our articles been generated. There's also lots of other things we can do in here, and we can also add images into the articles that we've already scraped. We can add videos into the articles that we scraped, or just a link only. We can embed the video. So there's lots of options here, and we can also add a list of titles. That's it. I mean, the article is good to go. I would use that straight away in my GSA campaigns, no questions asked. So now that we can see that, we will go back to our home screen, and I'll just show you a couple of the other sections within the software and how you can use them. So with our content inserter, we can obviously reuse your own content that you have already on your hard drive, or any of the files that you've already scraped. And there's lots of things we can do here. Add images, videos again. You can schedule the task once more. We can add contextual links. We can just add our links in here, and depending on the template chosen, obviously this is only for the GSA template, this percent URL percent. So obviously the template chosen reflects in this section. So we can pick the URLs. We can simply enter in, let's say, my site, TheZupr.com. What would we want the keyword to be? Well, since this is an SEO content machine, we could simply add SEO content machine, and that would be our link within the content. We can also choose the volume of generic keywords that we add into our anchor text. So we can simply increase this depending on what you're doing or what you're going after. Obviously you guys will know better than me your niche and your market and what your link building requires at this moment, so use that wisely. And then we can simply click OK again, but our link will be there. So this is our content inserter, where we can reuse all our own articles and articles we scraped, and then we can combine them for obviously super spun articles. We can also use the content remixer. Believe it or not, I've never used this. I'm not exactly sure what it does. Combine the content on your hard drive to make some super spawn articles. Okay, that's exactly what that does. And then we can go to our translate articles, which is another great feature of SEO Content Machine, and it lets you translate articles using the Google or the Bing translator, and it'll let you translate from multiple languages and back to certain languages, and it's great for making unique content. But it's also great if you're working in foreign niches. You're not just limited to English speaking niches using this software. There's also a schedule of blog posts where you can use the software to upload posts to WordPress. Now I don't use that. I'm not a big fan of doing that. There's other methods of getting that done, and I wouldn't use this software to do it, but the option is there if you want to do it. Simply scrape content. Do you want to just simply go and scrape a whole heap of content? Well, there you go. Go to the article downloader, enter in your keywords. You can even scrape URLs based on the keywords, which is actually a pretty good feature. So if we want to add in 30 outbound links into our content, we could use this software by using the dog collars, and then we can scrape URLs based on that keyword. So I'm sure if we hold on one moment, it'll spit out some URLs that it has found based on the search keyword that we have used. So I'm just going to pause this for a moment while it does that, and let's see. Yeah, exactly as I thought. I just entered dog collars. Sorry, I let it do a longer scrape, but I didn't actually have to. Once I stopped the scrape taking place, you can see it's already generated 365 URLs, which is great to use for outbound linking. So there's lots of URLs here that all relate to dog collars. Great. There's a couple of more sections before I come to the tier 1 content generator or content creator. Scrape images, self-explanatory. Do you want to scrape Google? Do you want to scrape Creative Commons licensed images? There you go. Enter your keywords, simply scrape. Finding long tail keywords, as Google auto suggest scraper that I told you about earlier on, or I showed you a little demo of it earlier on. Simply enter your keyword and scrape. Boom. Lots and lots of keywords for you to use. Simply right click, import, we can select, we can copy, and then we can use them for whatever we want. So let's get out of that. That's still running. Create about me generators. Would you like to add or create an about me section for any needs you might have? Let's put in dogcollar.com. Wonder who has that. And that is our about me generated. So short about me section, and this will obviously be hyperlinked. Very good. And there's the content wizard down here that if you really want to just generate content nice and quick, you can obviously just go through. You pick your template, let's say GSA again. Simply pick your article spinner, spin rewriter, spin without the spin, yes. Next, primary keyword, boom, boom. And your article keyword. Color. Next, any suggestions? Dog colors. There's obviously more suggestions we can have for additional keywords that it wants to scrape. Pick a paragraph, save, article quality, unique. Next, do our image count. This is just another way of getting from point A to point B. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. But you can't do embeds and stuff from there. It'll bring you back to the article generator. If that's something you want to do, obviously add embed codes and stuff. That's why I use this tab and not this tab. Now, the final section I want to talk about is the Tier 1 content creator. The Tier 1 content creator lets you search for keywords again. Let's go for dog collar. It lets you search for content based on your keywords, but what it does is provide you with a list of snippets that you can then combine into an article that, well, like SEO Content Machine says, that you can use for Tier 1 content. Again, I don't use this section a huge amount, but I have played with it and I know that that's what they're trying to do, and it can do it. I mean, there's nothing that can generate 100% unique, 100% readable content for any of your websites or any of your properties that you want to actually rank, or that you want to look after and you want to nurture and you want it to be eventually to produce some money for you. I mean, I haven't found anything that does. So if you do, please let me know in the comments below. But as far as I'm aware, there's nothing you can do that just yet. But our snippet finder, the dog collar, let's do a search and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So it goes out and it searches for the dog collar. Once again, I'll pause it so you don't have to either fast forward or wait. So the task is just finishing up. I have chosen my keyword, I chose my sources, I just picked 2 for this example, and it went and started scraping. So there was 257 snippets that I found, and now it is pulling all them in for me to view and to create my content from. What it also lets you do once you have these snippets is to just generate an article automatically. We can pick our word count down here, and then we can simply bulk generate a big number of articles from these snippets that we have here, or else we can just generate one. Obviously pick your folder where you want to save it, but these are the snippets that it gave us. So we can use any of these snippets to create our content, and I'm sure there is creative ways that you can use this and create decent content. It's more time consuming, and generally I like to outsource a lot of that type of content that I need. But if you do want to use it, it is there to use. So we can just double click these and we can simply come in here, add these, and create an article from them. We can also use all our other tools up here. We can spin it, and it will use your spinner. It will go off and spin these 65 words to whatever settings you wanted to use or are predefined. So that is one way we can use this section. And once again, we can generate an article by using all the snippets that we choose over here. You also have the usual options as in inserting images, videos, titles, and once again we can view and we can go and view our spun preview, and we can check for duplicates. So obviously I didn't spin that a lot, and you just saw me going through the process, and there is 75% unique. So that's no good for me, and you can actually go in back in and edit all this stuff to create it an article as unique as you like. So that is SEO Content Machine in a nutshell. I'm sure I rambled a bit, but it's the software I'm using at the moment for all of my content needs to do with link building, and I love it. It's fast, it's efficient. Like I said, it generates unique content all the time, and I just showed you exactly how to do that. Before I go, I will say that it's always updated by the owners, and that it runs on Mac and Windows. You can install it on multiple computers, so I'll have it on my local machine and on my dedicated server. You can only run it on one at the same time, as in you can only be logged in on one at the same time. But it is good to have the fact that you can install it on the multiple machines if you like. And the support, once again, the support is top notch. I had a problem last Saturday, and of course that's a weekend, and I got in touch with support, and he was back to me within 15 to 20 minutes and had my issue resolved within the hour. So I can't recommend the software highly enough. So your mission now and your next step is to go to the link below in the description. You can obviously read my full review there, and go to the website, and you can actually download it and play with it as much as you want for 3 days, because there's a free trial, no credit card required. So go check it out and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. It's Alan once again from TheZupr, signing off.